give this a couple minutes. It's Easter. I don't know who's going to show up. Probably just all trolls. Oh, 3 people. Happy Easter, Jenny. Happy Easter, Mercy. Happy Easter to all of you. There's my dude! Temper Tyrannus, what's up? I am still in Virginia. That is awesome, Gonzo Trucker. Yeah. What, I'm gonna work at West Rock? That'd be interesting. Hey, Trucker J, what's up? We've got a lot of guys named Trucker J. I got 19 people in the room. I need some likes. If you could just hit the like button. I'm gonna open up my strawberry quick. Christ has risen, I saw the light. Today is the day. Today is the day. The good news starts today. And let's talk a little bit about that. Let's start off on the right foot right now. Eye in the Sky by Kiki. Good guy Glenn. Almost with the team. What does that mean? Oh, that's awesome. You service all the mills down there? All right. Let's remember a couple things here. The day, today is Easter. Hey, Tori. All right, today's Easter. From this day forward, when Jesus died for our sins and then rose again, he provided us with a clean slate. Now, he knew we would still sin, and that's why he had to pay the ultimate price for us. But starting forward today is a clean slate for all of us. So, no matter what happened up to this point, this year, this week, this month, whatever is going on, now's the time to wipe that slate clean and go forward. For instance, I was just going over my weekly miles. They were terrible. This is maybe the worst week I've ever had at this company. But what am I going to do? I'm going to look forward to this week. And this week, I'm going to get more miles and get back up there and work on things. I didn't see what was deleted. I trust in your decision, but sometimes I like to read them anyway because they make me laugh. I'm sure they were idiots. Back to what I was saying. I'm trapped in Virginia with no trailer. I dropped at Home Depot yesterday. Today's Sunday. Yesterday morning, dropped at Home Depot. Home Depot says, we can't let any trailers off our lot for whatever reason. They give me a phone number. I start calling every 2 hours. They have no trailers. Okay, I give up yesterday. Because you start getting late in the day, you need a place to park. You stay at the Flying J. I'm going to get to the shirt. I'm getting to the shirt. We forget Western Express. All right. Today, I start calling Home Depot, asking about trailers. They can't let any trailers off the lot. Okay. Guess what? I'm only going to call so many times, and then when we start getting on with the day, it's obvious at this point after 24 hours that I'm doing a reset. So I just did a reset. I stopped calling, whatever. Tomorrow, I guarantee you tomorrow when my DM comes to work and says, why aren't you moving? And I say, I don't have a trailer. Within 30 minutes, he'll have me a trailer. Now, why is it that my DM can get things done, but the weekend crew, the weekend coverage can't get anything done over there? It's an interesting question. Oh, someone was asking for donations? That's weird. Seeing a lot of that. You're seeing a lot of weird trolling on everything, not just here on YouTube. A lot of weird stuff going on all social media. You know, it almost makes you not want to be on social media at all. Everyone wants to keep me rolling. I'm looking into it. Don't you worry about that. I need $5. We all need $5, Griggs. So, I had Denny's 2 days in a row. I had a steak yesterday that was, I asked for medium rare and I got shoe leather. Well, here's what happens with me. They gave me a load. This Home Depot load wasn't supposed to drop till today. He tries to give me loads to try to keep me busy, but if you give me a load over the weekend, I'm dropping it Saturday, no matter what I have to do. If I have to drive 600 miles and run my clock down to 15 minutes, I'm dropping on Saturday because I want it to count for this last week's check. So that doesn't work with me. So a little bit of that is my fault. Now, sometimes, if you give me a 1,000-mile run, I can only do what I did. I did do that last weekend. He gave me a weekend run that was 1,000 miles, and I ran it out and got it done. You know, I did like 2 500-mile days, and I got it done that Saturday because I wanted it in on Saturday. And I know I'm going to sit. I know I'm going to sit. What are you going to do? Who needs a wrench? Safe travels. Western will pay for layovers, but not for something like this. Western will pay for a layover if they give me, like, if my DM is working and he gives me something, but it doesn't pick up till tomorrow, he'll make sure I get a layover. My DM is good like that. My DM's not here on the weekend. The weekend crew will give you nothing. Nothing. So, when I got screwed out of home time to see my daughters play, of course, we worked out how that could have been resolved after the fact. But the weekend crew was there, and my DM was on vacation that week. It was a perfect storm of why I didn't get home. Let's go back to the shirt, because what will happen is I'll forget about this shirt. This is the Bandit shirt. On the back is the snowman's truck, and it says, we got a long way to go and a short time to get there. This shirt, apparently, now I don't know all the semantics of this. This shirt was created by Mother Trucker News. I know some of you all don't like him for whatever reason. He entertains me. He entertains me, and he created this shirt, and they bought a Bandit car, and they auctioned it off to a trucker. I think he was out of Texas. And you could qualify by entering your phone number at a Petro. And he entered his phone number at a Petro. Maybe he's from Texas, or he won out of a Petro in Texas, whatever. But they gave him the Bandit car. And this t-shirt was part of that promotion, apparently. And I saw it at a Petro station, at a TA in Virginia. As a matter of fact, my favorite little spot in Virginia there, Glade Valley or whatever. Glade Springs? Glade Springs. I don't know, whatever. In Virginia, you know the spot. I do lives from there every time I can. Lumber's left a bad taste in my mouth since I started in this business. I just don't understand the concept of, like, I'm getting paid to deliver your stuff to you, but then I gotta pay your lumper to unload my stuff. I get the concept, because maybe back in the day I would have to unload it. It's just weird to me. It's just a weird... How about this? How about I'm not involved with your lumpers? Make the price of what it is. Why does there have to be a separate we pay the lumpers thing? Why are the lumpers just not getting compensated? Like, why does the driver have to create a relay code and get involved or write a stupid check? I just don't get the concept of the lumper. How's my Easter, Johnny Phillips? Oh, well, you know, I did a 34 here in Virginia. Listen, the days of getting all twisted up about things, that's over, dude. That's over. You can't get twisted up. Now it's personal. That's right. No, dude. You can't. You can't get twisted up over nonsense. Because there's so much nonsense going on in this business that you'll just go absolutely crazy. This guy Kiki. The thing is, we do need people to unload the trucks. I don't understand why sometimes they're lumpers, sometimes they're not. It depends on the state. It's a union thing. I'm a union guy. I was for years. I understand the concept. But this is old school blackmail union stuff. And it's kind of the stuff that gives unions a bad name. And I'm just not into that. But it's really weird, man. Sometimes, like on a day like today, like Easter, and you got a lumper unloading your truck, and you got to write out that check, you know, or get that relay code, that lumper is making more than you made on that load. I want you to think about that. $460 to unload a 53-foot trailer, and what did you make to deliver that load? Unless it's a crazy load, like a 1,000-mile load, or like a 2,000-mile load, like West Coast to like Chicago or something. What did you make on that load? If I'm delivering Ohio to North Carolina or Ohio, you know what I mean? What did I make on that load? And what did the lumper make? You know, it took him 25 minutes to unload my trailer. I drove this down here in 2.5 days. He made the same money as me? I just don't understand that. I try to be very cordial with shippers and receivers, even when they're being dicks to me. Because quite honestly, they could really make your life terrible. They could keep you there forever. What's up, Africa? Yeah, man. Lumpers. We're talking about lumpers. We went from talking about the Lord to the Bandit to lumpers. Epic beard. Thanks. Eye in the sky. Seriously. For real. Dude, not even $450 in an hour. They don't take an hour to do it. They do it in like 20 minutes. You know, they unload it. And that's good money, dude. I don't know how much of that they keep. I don't know how much of that the union keeps. I don't know how it works. I'm not a lumper. I just know that I have to sign off on that check. You can get detention pay, but they have all kinds of stipulations to getting detention pay. You got to make sure you follow all those rules that are in their little binding agreement that's on the load sheet. You know, some of them are really easy to follow. Just be on time. Your computer work has to be right. I love that one. That's left open for interpretation. So, look at these guys. All right, it's all taken care of, Jen. Kamete. So, where were we? The Bandit. We talked about the Bandit. We talked about... Did we talk about Denny's? My food at Denny's was not good. This is not a good Denny's. As a matter of fact... Trucker Jay wants to hear the infamous story of how I got kicked off of MSG duty in the Marines. How do you know about that story? Did I tell that story on here? I forget. Man, you want to hear something, Trucker Jay? My Marine buddies want me to start telling some Marine stories on this channel. Now, back when I had the studio in my former career, I had a green screen and I was going to put up some stuff. Okay, we'll talk about, like, I have no problem telling the story of how I got kicked off of MSG duty. That's a great story. Who wants to hear the story? You want to hear the story? You mentioned it in a previous video, but didn't get into it. First of all, if I'm going to tell the story of how I got kicked off of MSG duty, I want Naha Banana Spider to be here. No, NTA Banana Spiders to be here. All right. You're all asking me for the story. I guess I could point the devil dog to this video. First, a little background for those of you who don't know what MSG duty is. MSG duty is Marine Security Guard duty, and that is throughout the world, wherever the United States has a U.S. embassy, Marines guard the U.S. embassy. Only the top 7% of the Marine Corps get chosen for this duty. I got chosen for the duty. Am I a super Marine? No. I just always stayed out of trouble, got a good PFT score, that means physical fitness, and I was a pretty locked on grunt. Like, I knew my MOS. I was pretty much on board average. I wasn't super, I wasn't above average, I wasn't below average, I was average. That's being realistic, dude. I was really good at my job. I liked being a grunt, but I wasn't a super stud. You know what I mean? Just the way it was. So, you go and you train in Quantico, Virginia. I forget how long it is, but you go to etiquette school and all this stuff, and you learn the the ins and outs, and then you go to your embassy. Now, you go to 2 embassies while you're on embassy duty. First, you go usually to what's called a DC post. That's a terrible post. That's like, at the time, that was your Lima, Peru, or the Sudan, or something like that. It was it's your terrible post. They usually send you there first, but they can't send everyone into the class to a bad post first. So some of you will get reversed, and you'll go to your skate post first. I went to Copenhagen, Denmark. Right? Okay. The embassy was in this old, creepy castle type of deal. So I'll tell a longer version of the story, because I could tell you just the simple facts of what happened, and I got kicked off the duty. But I'll tell you a little bit about it. You show up there, there's all these creepy paintings, and they're staring at you, and in the middle of the night when you're doing your rounds through the embassy, looking around, the eyes are always on you, watching you. Now, sometimes at night, you'd be sitting there, and there was these motion detecting devices that would sound alarms on a board that's in front of you. And the alarm would trip. And you would look on the camera in that zone to see if there's an intruder. Man, you don't know how many times at night, in the middle of the night, when you're doing overnight, and that alarm trips and you look on the camera, you wish you saw someone, an intruder. Because you're armed, you know what to do. You know what I mean? If there's an intruder, you know what to do. You've got mace, you've got a baton, you've got a .357 Magnum. At the time, I'm guessing they still carry Magnums. It was a tradition. And then you would have to reset the alarm, and if it trips again, you'd go down and investigate. But first you have to call the Marine House and say, tripped alarm, tell them where the alarm is, and that you're going to investigate. If you don't hear back from me in 15 minutes, sound to react, right? I hope I'm not giving away trade secret that, like, I'm going to get in trouble for this, but, like, whatever. That's how it works, right? So, I show up to this place. I'm the only grunt in the detachment. It was a 1 in 4. We had one NCO. We had one staff NCO that was our det commander, and then we had 4 NCOs that we ran the guard. I was the only grunt. So, on the weekends, during the week or the weekends or whatever, when you would do all kinds of different things. Like, you would do CQB training, which is close quarters combat training, and whatnot. These guys who weren't grunts and didn't do this for their career, for their MOS, would mess it up all the time. Simple things like, when you're entering a room with a 16, if you're not at the ready with the weapon, you're at the ready with the weapon, you don't have the weapon up. Always have the weapon down. Always have the weapon down. And here's why. When you enter a room, if someone is standing in a corner that's a blind spot for you, and he grabs your weapon and your weapon's up, you're done. He's got a hold of your weapon. He's got control of the weapon. If your weapon is in a down position, he grabs your weapon, you can drop down to a knee, raising your weapon, take a shot. You could get him in the lower groin, in the leg, even in the foot. Still better than nothing, right? I would try to show these guys this, and they were not happy at all. My det commander was on Yankee White. Yankee White is the presidential detail. He was the crew chief on Marine 2, which is the 53 that the president flies on. Right? So he thought he was hot shit, and he was an asshole. So, there was this guy there, Corporal Spink, who got promoted to Sergeant Spink while I was there, right? And he was a flight line rescue guy. Big ups to him. He rescued, he was a fireman on the flight line at Marine bases. Okay, good. He was a weirdo. He was a religious guy. Not citing him bad for that. But he insisted on going to church every Sunday. Once again, not citing him bad on that. I went to church as well. Difference being, I went to Catholic church, which was right up the street. He went to some weird Christian thing. Snake handler, I don't know what. But, like, not your run-of-the-mill Baptist whatever. And mind you, we're in Copenhagen, Denmark. So if you're, like, something weird, like Church of the Nazarene or whatever, I'm not exactly sure. I'm not trying to, like, listen, your faith is your faith. You know I'm a man of faith. I'm not saying nothing about that. You have every right. However, we had one vehicle for our detachment, one vehicle for 4 guys for their off time. He was gone with that vehicle all day. All day, because he was like, his church was like 3 hours away. 3 hours there, 3 hours back, 6 hours. Your Sunday is shot, right? I made the mistake of saying something about this. And I said something to my deck commander, and he already didn't like me. And Spink didn't like me. So, one day, I go in for my fitness report, and I get hammered on my fitness report. Hammered. And they gave me bad pro-cons on my fitness report because they said I was persecuting this dude for his religion. Okay? It has nothing to do with your religion, dude. I didn't say anything sideways about your religion. All I said was, homeboy is gone for 6 hours a day with and that's just the drive time. He's gone like a couple hours for services. So the whole day we are down a vehicle, and we only had one Suburban for our detachment for the weekend where I was. Some places had more than one vehicle. We had one vehicle. All right. And that's it. That's how I got relieved of duty off of MSG duty. Because I decided to part ways and go back to the grunts. And I went back to the grunts. And that's it. That's how Good Guy Glenn got kicked off of You were a nasty Marine? All right. Listen, guys, there's 104 of y'all. Let's start hitting the like button, folks. Hit that like button. All right, so now I told you the MSG duty story. Western Espresso, that's a cool name. How did you hear it, Johnny Phillips? Oh, God. So anyway, it's hot as hell in this truck. But if I roll the windows down, the truck running next to me is gonna make racket. Look who it is! Sharon! How is Columbus, Ohio? I bet you it's 70 degrees there, and when I wind up there this week, I'll bring the snow. I texted you today, Sharon. Happy Easter. Johnny, you made me laugh, because that's exactly what a jarhead would say. That's not how I heard it. Western Espresso. New trainees get away with hit and runs. Sounds like Western Express. What happened? I know that there's a delay on these comments. So anyway, like I was saying, this is the worst week I've had since I've been here with this company. It's like terrible. I made like no miles this week. I don't even think I made 1,500 miles this week. You know, usually I make 2,500. So like this is gonna be like half a check. It's gonna be a couple $100. Like, what am I making? You know what I mean? It's terrible. Let me try to keep up here. It's great, sunny and warm. Of course it is, Sharon. It's that way because I'm in Virginia. I'm sure I'm getting a load to Columbus probably tomorrow, and I will bring the snow. I promise. So get yourself out of there. I still don't have a trailer, just so you know. You know, it's never happened to me this long where I haven't had a trailer this long. And here's the deal. I know where there's trailers. And I said, if you sent me to Front Royal, which is 30 miles away, I deadhead 30 miles, there's plenty of places to get trailers down there. The weekend crew will never do that. They will never do that. They know one thing. Go back to where you dropped and pick up. You just can't always do that. It just doesn't always work that way. The Baltimore detours shouldn't affect me because I generally don't go that way. But that would be the way that I go, for sure. The thing that scares me about the whole entire Baltimore thing. All right, let's talk about this. That's funny, Big Dean. You're a funny guy. If you detour around Baltimore and they don't take you that other way, going westbound, and you can't go on 95 because I don't think we can go through the tunnel, but we may be able to go through the tunnel. I'm not exactly sure. You know what? I think you can go through the tunnel. You can't go through the tunnel if you have hazmat. That's what it is. If you have hazmat, you can't go through the tunnel on 95. But if you have to go out that way, the way 695 takes you to the outer ring of Baltimore, and you can't go 695 now because the Key Bridge is gone, they're going to send you to the Bay Bridge Tunnel. And if you've ever driven the Bay Bridge Tunnel, it's quite possibly one of the most scary things. Now, I haven't done it. Where's Sharon? She's done it a couple of times. Bobtail home pronto? Where am I going to bobtail home? I'm thousands of miles from home. I'm not bobtailing home. The wind on that Bay Bridge, right? I'm not dealing with it. I know if I have to deal with it, I'll deal with it, but I'm just going to pretend like it's not a thing for now. That tunnel situation, that situation over there, that's a bad situation, dude. As far as shipping goes and freight goes, a lot of the freight that comes into that port, that particular port, is farm equipment, cars, and stuff like that. I don't ship that stuff, so I don't know how that'll affect me. But I do know that since it is closed and they are diverting all that traffic to other places, that's going to delay time on freight everywhere. There'll be some sort of trickle-down effect on this, but I don't know. Freight's already bad. I mean, how, like, can it even get any worse? Who knows? They've been trying to build up the infrastructure, Jen, in Florida for a while. Now, listen, that's great because if they do this thing that they have planned in Florida, Florida will no longer be the dead end that it is when we bring stuff down there. Like when you wind up in Vardosa, which is in Georgia, but you start getting down there into Florida, you pick up at Nestle's Water, West Rock in Jacksonville. But if you start getting down to like Tampa, Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, I've been stuck in Orlando. And, you know, I've said in the past, if I ever get stuck in Orlando again, I'm going to Disney. Well, I got stuck in Orlando again, and I didn't go to Disney because I was afraid to. Because just like what I thought was going to happen when I was contemplating going to Disney, taking an Uber to Disney for the day, I got a load. And that's what happens, man. And the Qualcomm can't come with me. You know what I mean? And I will get a notification on my phone, but imagine I'm in Magic Kingdom, and now I got to try to get out, get an Uber, and get back and pick up my load. It's like a nightmare. It's a pipe dream. Wow. Sharon, that's no joke, for real. I heard this thing that they got people that you could hire that drive you over the bridge. Newark, New Jersey is already backed up because they're already back. They already sent a lot of that stuff up to Newark. Henry Hill, God bless you as well. Happy Easter. He is risen. When am I going to Hirschbach? I don't know. We're probably looking, if I do ever go to Hirschbach, it's going to be June. In the June time, I'll start discussing it. I'm going to talk to you about how to talk to women. No. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Hirschbach, maybe not. It all depends. Wildbeard's got stuff going on. But yeah, I mean, I would talk to Jordan and possibly go over there. Have I ever been to Camden, New Jersey? Yeah, all the time. I've been to Camden a lot. The beard used to give me alpha male vibes as well. Now it doesn't. Now I'm just an old man. CA88, how much experience do you have before you were out for 3 years? Jen, not for nothing, but you live in the suburbs of Camden. Keep that in mind. Do I stay on the road 4 months at a time? I stay out on the road pretty much indefinitely. When are me and Wildbeard going live again? Ask him. It's all up to him, man. Wildbeard's a busy guy, man. He is a busy dude. I give that dude much props. Dude, he's a father. He has a dedicated route for Tyson. He delivers, reefer. Reefer loads, not like marijuana. He delivers reefer loads. He's busy, dude. And he runs a successful YouTube channel. He's got a lot going on. If he wants me back on, I'll come back on. If he wants to come on here, he's always welcome here. He's a really good dude, and I'm proud to call that dude my friend. You're fasting? Amen. Opinions of Peeps marshmallows. Okay. The pink ones are awesome. I like the pink ones or the blue ones. It's a toss-up. Which ones are your favorite? I won't blow up your spot who you really are. Who's Rubio? So, how do you say your name, Lena? Scareverver? Just be careful. I know you're being obnoxious because you're my daughter, but my moderators don't know your name, your little pseudonym name, Scareverver, and I don't want them to kick you off. Oh, Rubio Blanco, the clown filming this video. We love you, Rubio. Oh, she's a carver? I get it. Is that a cutting reference? Stand up for yourself at once. Dude, you don't have any idea what you're talking about. Just calm down. Give my kid a... You know what, Angelina? Did I ever try to make you a moderator before? You're a moderator now. She might unmoderate herself. Semper Tyrannis. She's done it before. She wants no responsibility whatsoever. Angelina, don't do silly stuff with the moderator power. Don't. With great power comes great responsibility, Angelina. Hey, Tori. Glad to have you back. Why am I sitting in my truck? I walked around this truck stop. How much walking can I do? I went to Denny's. I've gone in and out of this truck stop a dozen times today. There's only so much, and the rest, it's just farmland around here. It's not like I'm in some urban area. There's not even a Walmart close to here. Edwin. Arctic snow cone. Yeah, I've tried to quit many times. Thanks, Wildbeard. Just wondering what your thought is since you've... Oh, you don't have a CDL. Well, you gotta get a CDL. I'm sorry, Trucker Jay. Are you hooked on them? They're so tasty, man. Starburst, Skittles. I mean, you just can't. You just want to say no, but you can't. You can't say no. I know all about it. Johnny Phillips. Yeah, everybody's sitting. Everybody's talking about nobody's got loads right now because of the holiday. And then my buddy was supposed to drop at a Procter & Gamble, and he shows up there and he said that they're not working today. And it was a live unload. So he got screwed. Yeah, C4 is bad news. Newports. I haven't been to the Iowa truck stop, but I have friends who have, and I need to make it out there. Angelina, be careful who you're deleting, because sometimes people are just breaking my balls and they're like friends. I'm not saying that particular one was that case. I don't really know. I didn't see what you deleted, but just please be careful, because, especially my Marine buddies, they come on here and they like to break my balls. So, which state has the best lot lizards? I don't know. I've never partaken in womp womp. You're funny. I love you, babe. I don't partake in lot lizards. If I was a younger dude, who knows with the lot lizards? I don't know, but like, I'm just not, that's not my deal, dude. Tori, don't worry. Grove City was busy, huh? I imagine. So what? You're not at that Love's, are you, Sharon? Oh no, is that Love's? Yeah, that Love's is in Grove City, right? Yeah. That little tiny Love's that I somehow miraculously always find a spot at. What did I have? I had a hamburger at Denny's. You can never get into that lot in Memphis. I won't go to Memphis because the whole thing with A1 Towing and Western, there's a battle there, and Western is suing A1 Towing. And so now if I go to this little truck stop near the one spot that they always send me to in Memphis, and if not, I go further down into Mississippi and I stay at a rest area. You're going to Columbus? I hate Columbus. Western, there's a lot of things about Western Express. I mean, you gotta look. A lot of them are the big, everyone deals with all the ones we deal with. We deal with Walmart, we deal with Sam's Club, we deal with Home Depot, Lowe's, we deal with LG, we deal with all, like, a lot of the big companies. And the big companies are the worst. They have like the weirdest rules. Like, you gotta show up wearing a polka dot shirt with one hand in your right pocket. It's like they have dumb rules set up. Hunts Point? Yeah. Driving a truck to Hunts Point is terrible. Schuster? Yeah, I don't know much about them. Do I think AI is going to take over trucking? It hasn't done well so far in the testing. But in the future, you don't know. Maybe. I don't think so. I think what's going to happen, though, is it is taking over rail. And I think you might see us going back to a lot of OTR freight being moved by rail. Now, if you know the history of trucking, that's actually when we got paid more money and we had a better quality of life, is when rail carried a lot of this stuff across the country and we were more regional drivers. Regional drivers always make out better. It's going to cut down on the amount of drivers, which means you're going to have better drivers out in the field because only the better drivers are going to have work. Oh, God. Let's see here. I like when you give dates on your videos and put on... I wish more people would do that. What, the dates on the video? So, like, I like to do that. One of the big YouTubers that I followed for years, Adam the Woo, always does that. Now, if this is a vlog, right? If you're doing a vlog, it's a blog, right? It's like a log. Semantics. It's like a video diary, right? You should have the date on there. Plus, a lot of the times, I film back before I had the Wi-Fi in the truck, I would film stuff and it'd take me weeks to get up. So I would put the date so you knew when it was filmed. Freight is bad right now. Do I have an electric truck? No. Would I drive a reefer? I got friends that do it. Wild Beard does it. You get paid more, but you're doing a lot of drops at night. A lot of drops at night. Nobody's got an electric truck. What would you do with an electric truck? First of all, what range is that truck getting? That's what I'm curious of. What kind of range does that truck get? Number two, I stay at truck stops all the time. When I'm not in a rest area, I stay at a truck stop. Or if I can't stay at a DC, at the customer, I stay at truck stops almost nightly. I have never seen a charging station for a truck anywhere. Where are you charging an electric truck? It's absolutely asinine. The whole entire idea is asinine. All right, girl. Be safe wherever you're going. EVs are never going to work for us. Not with the time it takes to charge them. Not with the low miles that you get. I mean, in a day, I drive 500, 600 miles, on my clock. How far am I getting in an EV truck? Is that cutting that in half? Am I even getting 300 miles in an EV truck? I don't think so. What does that truck weigh? Those batteries are heavy. Teslas are the heaviest vehicles on the road, right? Now imagine the batteries it's going to take in a truck to haul 80,000 pounds. Now add those batteries to the truck. Does that limit the amount of cargo I can carry if I'm capped at my gross weight at 80,000 pounds? Now you're adding in battery weight. That limits the amount of freight I can haul, which limits my earning power. I'm not doing it. You just can't do it. It can't even be done. Your regulations are contradicting your regulations. Navy, man. That's funny. There's nothing wrong with the Navy. They give us rides places. There's no lightweight batteries, dude. Gary, what... That's a tricky question. What state do I like to travel in the most? This is a catch-22. I like Ohio because it's flat and the highways just go straight. But Ohio has tricky weather that changes on a dime. So I hate that about Ohio. So winters in Ohio are terrible. Plus the lake effect rain and all that. But the roads are decent. If that makes any sense. Well, Johnny, you're talking about the self-driving electric trucks, right? I would imagine that. So that has happened in testing, that they have killed people, from what I understand. I don't know exactly. I mean, I'm pretty sure that fully fueled, my truck will get 1,100 miles. Give or take. I mean, you know. Gary, thank you. Happy Easter to you as well. Man, it's getting hot. The sun is going down right in front of my windshield. It was raining yesterday, so I didn't have this problem yesterday. As of right now, I stay east of the Mississippi. That's what they have in my contract for Western. I didn't ask for that, but I was happy about it for the winter, I'll tell you that much. I-84 and I-80 scare me this time of year. Ice is no joke. Wind is no joke. I dealt with some wind in Fancy Gap yesterday, 2 days ago. Friday. Good Friday. Fancy Gap. Some of the worst wind I've dealt with. My truck gets 8 miles per gallon, but I got 2 huge tanks. Jen, reporting the weather. Thank you, Gary. Atlanta does suck. What, to get water, old school trucking? Up at Poland Springs and then deliver it down to Staten Island? That's always the route. So, we did a live. I dropped a video for today. I got a video coming out tomorrow. It's too long. It's an hour. Try to stick with the video. There's a lot of tidbits in the video, and they're not, not in the beginning. So, I'm trying to cut these videos down. There's gonna be less road. I don't know. What do you want to see more of? You want to see more of the driving sequences, or like what? I'm going to try to work the videos in different ways. I got to get more into going places and whatnot. But I tell you, sometimes I get the places and I'm tired and I just can't film. You know what I mean? Or I'm just going to go shower and I don't want to drag a camera. They get weird when you start dragging cameras into like the shower area. I can't argue there, old school trucking, at all. Listen, I get this on the CB all the time when people want to talk nonsense about Western Express. I can't disagree with the things that you all have to say about Western Express. A lot of it's true, okay? But there's good drivers in every company. There's great drivers at Swift. There's great drivers at Prime. All the companies that you joke and clown about, there's good drivers that work for them. And then there's the drivers who make, bonehead truckers. And that's what we seem to focus on in society, is we focus on the bad. Western Express is a new hire and second chance company. I don't think so much second chance affects it as much as new hires. They hire a lot of new people, and they don't get good training, and they crash the trucks often. So you'll see that. I can't disagree with that. Listen, I'm not the greatest trucker. I'm new at this, whole entire thing. I've only been trucking since last year. I've only been trucking a little while now. I have stuff I'm still learning. I think you learn throughout your career if you're smart. But I follow safety. I know a thing or two about a thing or two. I'm an older guy, so I have some common sense in my head. Thanks, Jen. New hire, yeah, exactly. New hire, then 70 hours, and you get your own truck, and you're basically just driving teams, so you're not really learning anything. I'm blessed because I went to a good school. Shout out to Smith and Solomon. They taught me what I needed to know about being a trucker, and not everyone goes to a good trucking school. Some of y'all go to a trucking school, and within 2 weeks you're taking a test. How do you take your test in 2 weeks? Dude, my school's 3 months long. We focused a lot on backing, doing 90s, stuff like that, coupling, uncoupling the truck, maintenance of the truck. It was a trucking school. And yeah, they focused a lot on the test, but you learned. You know what I mean? I learned. So the type of trucking school I went to, I was lucky, you know what I mean? That's why I'm big on the pre-trip. You always check your kingpin. Let me tell you a story. I saw a kid with a high hook at a pilot the other day drop his trailer in a pilot. I didn't see him actually drop the trailer, but I saw the aftermath. He ripped the fairings off the driver's side of the truck, and the trailer was leaning, and he couldn't do nothing because you can't lower the landing gear or that trailer might fall on you. It was just half on his drives and half teetering over. There was no way for him to fix it. No way. It was just balancing on those drive tires. And that's because he backed into the trailer. He hooked up, and he didn't check his kingpin, and he didn't check his locking jaws, and you could see his kingpin release was open. It's just a shame, man. You see a kid, and that's it. His career is done. That's going on his DAC, and he's never getting another job. Who's this? Ginger DeSoto. Hey, how you doing? Well, Johnny, that's the thing. Mine wasn't nearly that much. But there's good schools, there's bad schools. There's good expensive schools, and there's cheap good schools. It's you just have to go, and you just gotta hope if you don't know. You know what I mean? God bless you too, Jen. E, you went out OTR for how long did you say here? 4 months. 4 months is good. I mean, you got your experience, and you got out JB Hunt. JB Hunt is a messed up company right now, from what I understand. I mean, I don't want to get into personal finances or anything, but any company that tells me I can't do a YouTube channel better be willing to compensate me for what I make on YouTube. That's all I want to say about that. I can be comfortable staying at Western Express because I do make a certain amount of revenue off of YouTube. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not like, I'm not what's his name, Mr. Beast, making $1 million paychecks off of YouTube, but it's a little cushion. Dude, exactly, Johnny. You gotta want to learn. You gotta want to do this. Listen, we have bad days. God knows I have bad days out here, but that doesn't mean I don't want to be a good trucker while I'm out here. That doesn't mean I don't want to be safe and know this job. You got to know this job. Your life depends on it. This isn't like a job where you could blow it off and then eventually get fired. Like you're at Burger King and you're just hanging out in the bathroom and you're not making Whoppers. This job you can kill somebody or kill yourself. No good. Just don't do it. Oh man, I missed. Thank you, Edwin. I appreciate it. I think we're going to wrap it up. It's getting late. I'm going to get up at 03 and start looking for a trailer tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to find one. I think my DM is going to have to find me a trailer. Tom! Tom, that's you, right? I'm wondering if Tom is Tom. It is Tom. E, thank you so much. Do I think the market will be back? Yeah, that's how markets work. You have depression, you have recession, depression, recovery, prosperity. It works in a cycle. If you follow it, it's a cycle. And when I was in real estate, there were cycles. Real estate goes up, real estate goes down, real estate goes back up, real estate goes back down. The pandemic created a false bubble with the real estate market. Now, right now, it's still going through this flux. It's still in a bubble state. It's getting volcanic at this time. We won't talk about real estate anymore. This used to be a real estate channel. It's not anymore. Trucking is very much the same. When the economy gets back going, we're going to have more people buying. And when more people are buying, stores need more stuff and truckers need to deliver that stuff. And then we'll see freight pick up again. You just have to be patient. A lot of the owner-operators are bad news out here as far as safety. America has always found a way to bounce back, but China is now the number one superpower, unfortunately. They lead us in production, and we're never getting that back. They just don't care about the rules that we care about. They don't care about the environment. They'll just do everything. They are the United States 150 years ago during the Industrial Revolution. They'll just keep building, making products, dumping into the environment, and they don't follow the rules that the United States. They don't have an EPA. They do what they please. And you can't compete with that. And you never will. Paying your people slave wages. They're always going to beat us, unfortunately. So we just have to find a way. We have to make better products that make it more worthwhile. I'd be willing to pay more for something good. Origin. I always talk about Origin. I'll buy a pair of Origin jeans for $130 because they're made in America by an American. But you know what else? They're good quality jeans. So if you get yourself a pair of Origin jeans, they're good jeans. They're not garbage. Carhartt. I always gave Carhartt my money when I was doing bridge work because Carhartt was made in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Once they moved everything down to Honduras, you still want me to pay Carhartt prices for something that's not union made in Milwaukee anymore? No, dude, I don't think so. Now, if you're not an American-made company anymore, I'm not paying American-made prices. It's just not the thing. Johnny, I've explained this before in videos. You know, I believe 100% that the lie that was kicked about there being a shortage of truckers to get everyone to go out and get CDLs, and they pushed states to give a lot of people on welfare programs CDL licenses, was to flood the market with drivers, inexperienced drivers, to drive wages down, to just basically make it cheaper to ship things. Call it a conspiracy. I just think that that's what's going on. It's not even that you don't buy Carhartt anymore. It's Carhartt. It just isn't the same. I went and looked at some double fronts because I always wore double fronts. They're just such flimsy garbage now. You're not getting the time. And all my old Carhartt is for when I was a fat guy. I hold on to it, but they're size 38, 40. I'm in a 32 now. And I can't even replace that stuff. Johnny, I know. It's like, it's a thing, unfortunately, I think. Portuguese Man of War. I like that name, too. Portuguese Man of War. Are you Portuguese? We'll see, man. We'll see what happens, Johnny. I think we're going to reach a point where you're going to see a slowdown in what we're seeing out here right now as far as with the drivers. I think a lot of the drivers that are out here were fooled by... I did a video on here that blew up on, like, you all been lied to, and it's about the lies that a lot of these YouTubers tell. This is kind of what inspired this channel, man. Happy Easter to you. You know, there's like a lot of lies that are told. And it's unfortunate. And we're just moving forward, dude. We'll move forward, we'll see what happens, and that's it. That's all we can do. We can just see what happens. Do the best we can every day. Recruiters lie too, but all recruiters lie. For any job you're going to get. Military, anything. The recruiter is always going to sugarcoat things because they get paid, you know, a commission off of you. So they'll tell you whatever they need to hear, you need to hear to get in the seat. Primal Smash, I don't know if we're going to see... I don't think we're going to see that. I don't think you're going to see mass layoffs because the retention rate is terrible. So many, I mean, especially if you're on any of these groups for your company, any of these trucking groups, kids come in and they don't make it like a month because they were lied to or they didn't understand what trucking was, and like, it's tough, man. It's tough out here. Eric, if I see you, you'll see me. I see a lot of Western drivers that come up to me and they say, "What's up?" I'll be glad to see you. Good luck with your orientation, man. Just, you know, Learn as much as you can on the internet and whatnot. Find yourself a good mentor. I've got a couple of good mentors, and that's probably, unfortunately, not going to be your trainer. I hate to say it, but it's true. At Western Express, your trainer is probably not going to be your mentor. Have someone you could call about e-logs. Learn the tablet. The driving is easy. They're going to make you run out your 11 while you're training. That driving is easy. Backing, learn backing. You know, say to your trainer, hey, if we have time at the DC, can I practice backing? Can I do a little bit of blindside? There's yards I go to where you have to blindside. I go to PepsiCo. Where is that? Indianapolis, PepsiCo is a one-way lot. You can only go this direction, go around the back of the building to come back. You can't turn the truck around and go in this direction. Guess where your drop is when you're dropping your empty? It's on your curbside, which means you're blindsiding in. Learn how to blindside. I'm not saying you have to be great at it, but be at least so you can get it in the hole. So that might end up being your home load, because we deliver there a lot. Tennessee to Indianapolis, that, you know, I hauled a truck full, a 53 full of Mountain Dew. How awesome is that? Mountain Dew is my favorite soda. You're right, the AI movie review, 100%. Listen, Eric, learn as much as you can. Get out and look. Very good. Get out and look. Remember that. If you ever have doubts, just get out and look. Primal Smash, the younger drivers coming. So it's not even about the freedom. It's because that's what it used to be, right? The golden age. Like the guys, I love 70s and 80s trucker culture. That was the golden age. These are guys that came home from Vietnam and they just wanted to hit the road and the freedom of it, right? And money was just gravy. You got paid to do it. And they made good money back then. Now these kids come in because these YouTubers tell them they're all going to be millionaires if they come out. You're all going to be in your own truck within 6 months. Then you're going to have 2 trucks. Then you're going to have rental properties to go on Airbnb. And you're going to have these different areas of income. It's all bullshit. You're not going to have a lot of that. Some of you are smart and will. I'm not saying it's not possible. But your first year? Absolutely not. And a lot of people can't make it their first year. They're living above their means right now. I'm living in a truck. Okay? My bills are minimum because I live in the truck. If I had to pay rent and utilities, I wouldn't be able to be here right now. Okay? That's first year facts out here. You can't live, and you can't live a regular life out here. You're either OTR or you're not. You're either an over-the-road driver, and this is like your lifestyle, or it's not. And I've often said, and I'll say it to the haters, and I'll say it to the trolls who go into my comments and attack me. I'm not saying that this is for me either. I don't know. I haven't been out here a year yet. I don't know what I'm going to do in a year from now. Right now, I'm doing it. What am I going to do from a year from now? I don't have an idea. I'm not one of these YouTubers that's going to sugarcoat things and blow smoke up your ass. I don't know. I'm figuring it out. $83,000? That's not bad. But what year did you start Hunt 420? Hey, no problem, Eric. It was my pleasure to serve. Dude, 2 years ago. Well, I mean, did you come in at the tail end of the pandemic when they, were everybody was buying everything on Amazon, and like, because people made a lot of money during that time. Man, they're coming in so fast. Well, I mean, Hunt 420, you definitely have experience, and you're probably with a decent carrier. So anyway, Gonzo Trucker, what's up? Yeah, you need to get with a good company. And that's the thing. And I always I always try to warn people, if you have options out there, check out your options, man. Don't come to a company like Western Express. Don't go to Super Ego. Do not, if you are a CDL student right now watching this, do not go to Super Ego. I'm not even gonna get into this in this one. That'll be my next video. I gotta go soon. I gotta hit the rack if I want to be up at 03 to start running. Yeah, dude. Working for the megas right now is the way to be. It really is. Because the megas are holding on to the business. And unfortunately, a lot of good guys that are owner ops just can't hold on. They just can't make it. And then you have guys like the guy who's next to me right now. He was owner op for years, and now he's working as a company driver because he went to retire. And because he was owner op for over 30 years, he put nothing into Social Security, so he wasn't really eligible to get Social Security. So apparently if he's out here for 2 years, he'll get something from Social Security. You know, so he's driving company for the last 2 years until he can retire next year. So keep that in mind. Well, if you're working local, you could be home every day. That's awesome. If you can make the money and drive local and get a good local gig, that's awesome. That's what's up. Unfortunately, I'm from Jersey, and even a job I was offered making a lot of money, over 100 grand a year, wasn't enough to live in New Jersey. New Jersey's just crazy, dude. That's another video as well. Primal Smash, you ain't lying, dude. There's the amount of sleep I want to get, and there's the amount of sleep I do get. And they don't add up. I'm not going to lie and say, oh, I'm a guy who could get no hours of sleep and drive. It's just nonsense. I'm an old man now, dude. They say when you're older you need less sleep, but I tell you what, the way I run my clock, the 03 to 06 time frame, it's tough. Your eyes get tired in them dark hours. Then 7 rolls around and the sun comes out and it clears up. The black dog goes away and you could do out the rest of your day. But for those of you who start late and you run late overnight and you run, starts to get dark and you run into the night, that's when you start pushing the danger, dude. And you see it. You see it when you're at the truck stop and you see dudes trying to back in. And it's not that they're bad backers and it's not that they're inexperienced drivers a lot of time. It's the fact that they're exhausted when they get to the truck stop. Exhausted. They can't even put the truck in the hole. And that's why they park in front of you at the truck stop. Yeah, for real, dude. Boston is another place. A lot of the bigger places in the East Coast, it's just unaffordable, dude. Just completely unaffordable. You want to make your millions, Johnny? That's cool. All right. Been an hour and a half. It's almost 1900. I'm going to hit the rack. I got to be up 03. I got to start looking for a trailer tomorrow. I know I'm not going to find one. My DM is going to have to find one for me. Home Depot's not going to have a trailer for me. Be safe, everybody. Say your prayers. Remember that the Lord's got your back. May not always seem that way, but he does. You know, happy Easter. God bless you all. And talk to you real soon. Check out the videos I dropped.